Good day, everyone. My name is Sifu Cicero, and I'm from the School of Chi Energy Heals. Today I have with me my instructor, Sifu Jones, and we're going to go over energy form training. Specifically, Sifu Jones, we have students who've recently read your article on using form with the Chi Energy method, and they have some more questions. Are you open to answering these today?
Yes, I am. In fact, this is going to be kind of a series of things, of articles and MP3s that we'll probably do on Form Chi or Chi forms, how that is so different than moving Chi. The difference between Form Chi and moving Chi is pretty stark as you get further into learning how to do the process.
Well, I'm just going to open it up with a very general question, and this is from specifically somebody who has not done energy work before, and they just wanted to know what energy forms are all about. What are they?
Well, what we've found out through science is that Chi energy, or this bioenergy that we're talking about, are really broken down to biophotons. And photons are basically this form of light that is broken up into subatomic particles and start out that way, and it's really what puts together everything. And what we do is our body puts out these biophotons because we're in an organism that is basically alive. So our body, which is alive, puts out this biophotons. And biophotons is a type of light, just like photons are. And what we do is teach a student how to build up this form of light that they do put off naturally.
Well, that kind of leads into the next question right there. And what is energy form training?
Well, energy form training is what we're really teaching in our school, because what we found out that everybody puts out these biophotons or this bioenergy, and nobody really takes the time to harness it or to be able to build it up in a usable format. And that's what we teach in the school, is that process of building up form. Now, there's a lot of energy modalities out there that will help you build up your energy so that you can feel it in a physical way. And we basically say that, this is a moving Chi, a type of form of moving Chi. And there are a lot of things that you can do with moving Chi, but we take it to a step even further where you start learning to move this moving Chi into a usable form that stays in place. And that's where we're so much different than other places out there. They don't really teach this process of putting your Chi into a form or into place like we do in the school.
It's interesting because we have an energy worker that asks, I'm used to working with the chakras all the time. How are energy forms different than chakras?
Well, chakras certainly are the same thing as what we call vortexes. It's like a moving tornado, and it takes in the feel of what that feels like. Literally, you'd feel this spinning in place, and it literally feels like a moving tornado as you get into that type of training where you would work with chakras or your own body's vortexes. And in the school, we teach students that their body has 7 different of these vortexes that happen naturally, and then we also teach them how to, by using different training devices, how that they can individually make a vortex form. And vortex forms are kind of an in-between of moving Chi and then form Chi, of what we're ultimately teaching them how to do, of putting Chi into place. Well, vortexes is that process that will help you form your Chi in place even better than you could on your own by simply learning that type of training too.
This next question kind of encompasses a lot, and I'll leave it up to you how you'd like to break it down, but the student wants to know, what is the difference of Chi energy forms in year 1, and then in year 2, and then in year 3, right up into the graduate level program?
Well, the biggest difference is in the amount of the build-up that you do over that process of those years. In the first year, when you first start doing Form Chi, you're not really able to put out as many biophotons as you can in the second or the third year. As you learn stronger energy exercises, you actually are able to put out more of this energy or biophotons. And the more biophotons you can put out and then form them into place using images in your mind, this is that process as you're using your mind as well as your energy form is going to go into a mental image, and your putting it always into gear using this electricity type of a filling. Because what we found out is bioenergy or chi energy works just like electricity does, and since it works the same way it does, if you go in there with that process in your mind, okay, well, this chi is electricity, they act the same way, well, then I can use what's usable for electricity or the rules that govern electricity. If you learn those rules, and that's basically what we start teaching students, is the rules involved of using electricity. If you're going to use electricity or biophotons in this particular way, and they act the same way as electricity does, you're better off learning how electricity works. And so that's what we do, is give them a working knowledge of this electrical process of how you can use electricity in these specific ways to actually form in place. And since electricity is very hot and destructive, by nature of just the way it is, it was really strange to us that we could find out that electricity is something that you can cool down, that you can actually form it and put it in place like it does. And in the science world, they have actually done that on small scales like this. And so we know that this is possible to do with these biophotons. And there's all sorts of new information they found out about chi. In the early days, we just thought it was this mysterious energy that comes out of your body, and we weren't quite sure of how it worked or anything. With quantum physics going as far as it has now, it's really amazing that they've broken it down and said, okay, well, these biophotons are really what are happening and coming out of your body, and that each of these biophotons can actually store up to 4 megabytes of information in them. And so using your mind, you can do all sorts of cool things with this energy that you put out. And who knew? It's amazing that you can learn these type of things now with the energy.
And that leads right into the next question. What is some of the practical application uses of using an energy form?
Well, like in the first article I wrote, I said, well, using an energy form, you can learn to change the inner temperature of your body. You can change your heart rate, your blood pressure, and make them or normalize them out in the way you want to. You can raise them or you can lower them, and you not only learn to do it on yourself, but you learn to do it in a physical way on somebody else so that they can actually feel this energy go through you. And there's all sorts of reasons to cool your energy down because, like we say, electricity is already really hot, and to work with it in that way, just kind of has too many bad properties to it, so it causes all sorts of bad side effects on yourself. And so by learning to cool down your energy, you can work with it in such a better way. And heat expands anyway, so when it's too hot, you really can't form energy into a usable or a workable form, and one that will hold in place. And that's really what we're trying to teach the students, is this component of holding and keeping your energy into a form or a place so that you can use it in a physical way to, later on as you build up enough energy, you can literally contract out either your own muscles or that of another person simply by learning these different energy forms. So we start them out with a basic form in year 1. And it's cotton ball type of form, and it's more of just using a blob to move it around your body, and it really works in this really cool way. As you practice doing the tri-concept, it's a practice that you do that will take some time, and you have to teach your body these different type of techniques, and all along the way, we give you all these either training devices to use or all these nuggets of information that if you plug them in, you'll be able to do that so much easier than you could normally. But simply because using cool energy, it condenses into this usable form, it's so much easier to actually make this physical form that your body senses can physically feel. Anybody else's body can physically feel as you keep continuing along that way. And then in the second year, we start adding to the form. You get much more specific in the use of the form, and then we also start teaching you much stronger energy exercises than the first year. So it's this build-up of allowing your body to get used to getting energy to flow through it in a much bigger way than it's ever done. And it's this process of allowing your glands to get stronger and your nervous system in general to get much stronger, because as you continue to do these on a regular basis, they build up your internal system really strong. And so it's just adding on as we go from year to year.